Hi, everybody. Welcome to AITA Pod. I'm joined by a very special guest today, my good friend, stand-up comedian, recent releaser of her special, Tori Piskin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you're here today to promote your special.
Yes.
And I said I would gladly help you. What's the special called so everybody gets your vibe?
Okay, the special is called Prettiest Girl at the Special School. I call it that because I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
And I went to a school for people with learning disabilities. And my special, it's really about being dyslexic and not only like my childhood and going to this school and having like James Gandolfini come and speak to us there and telling us
How impactful.
ridiculous shit. Also just like how it affected my dating life and maybe, you know, I picked the wrong guys because I couldn't read and I was insecure. Making myself sound really...
Well, I mean, it's a great special. You guys got to see it. I actually helped Tori edit it, and I got rid of some of the bad parts that she was attached to. I'm just kidding. But, you know, it's interesting. This just occurred to me because, you know, we just did a bonus episode, which you guys can listen to on the Patreon. But, you know,
bonus was good.
It was great.
I said
Tori
something.
Let loose.
I don't know if I'd let loose. I don't know. I said something, but I stand okay. I'm not mad I said it.
You're not mad you said
I'm
it?
not PC.
You're not PC.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm not.
But you're also like unique because most women like don't like to call themselves pretty. That's like a rule I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, you never heard that?
Here's the thing.
I got it. It's a Mean Girls quote. They go, so we agree you think you're pretty.
Right.
And that's a sin. You're not supposed to think you're pretty.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when people tell me that I have nice hair, my first instinct is to be like, I get like low voice and I'm like, oh my God, thanks. And then I make some like comment.
Yeah.
Putting myself down like, oh my God, well, you know, I washed it today. Something like funny.
Okay.
But instead, why don't I just own it and say, yeah, thank you, I have gorgeous hair. Remember we tried to work on a joke about it, how I was saying that like, I feel like I deserve compliments about my hair because in high school, I used to have really short curly hair. And people used to call me pubic head.
Oh, I used to get that too. I don't
You
like
did?
being called that. Yeah, because I have like bushy hair.
Yeah.
No.
But imagine being a girl and being called that.
No, it's brutal.
And one time I went skiing with my family and I had just, see what happened was I went to school like, you know, middle school, 2006. So like the height of when girls would chemically straighten their hair. That was the thing to do. I did that.
That's chemicals. Okay.
Chemicals. So it would straighten your hair. It would take like 8 hours to do. And then I started noticing it was ruining my hair. So I was like, I'm going to grow it out curly. So I grew it curly to like my ears. Then I chopped off all the straight part that was like almost down to my hips. So one year I had this like great straight red hair. The next year I came in with like a short old woman
curly hair.
Bob.
Oh, what a
that people were calling me pubic head.
I'm sorry.
Or bird's nest.
So okay, I love straight hair. So, but I'm always trying to learn more to get rid of my biases or whatever.
Okay.
So your hair can't be straight.
I mean, yeah, I can get it blown at like a dry bar or a place to get it. But I'm not one of these girls that gets out of the shower and my hair's straight. I need products. I need deep conditioner.
But I mean, is it unfair of me to like that? Because I mean, I guess it's a pain in the ass. You got to straighten your hair if it's curly, right? You can chemically kind of castrate the hair. Sorry, I don't know what that came
Well,
from.
I have a theory about guys that like girls with straight hair or guys that like girls with curly hair. Guys that like girls with curly hair grew up with a mother who also had curly hair or a mother that was a little eccentric, maybe a theater teacher mother.
That's guys who like curly hair?
Yes, that's my theory. And I swear it made sense, the theory. Because anytime I would like a guy and he didn't like me back, I looked at the mother on his Facebook.
This is a good
She
theory.
was a boring straight hair woman.
And I like my mom, does my mom have curly? I wouldn't call my mom's hair curly, but she's a little eccentric.
Okay.
She's got a little Miss Frizzle energy. She's like a teacher. She's a writer.
Right.
I think that counts.
Okay. Yeah, that's my...
But I like straight hair.
Well, I'm not sure, but I guess you broke my theory then.
I broke your theory? Oh, no.
Yeah, but you like...
I've loved women with curly hair, though. It's not,
okay.
I'm just saying, like, I like the look of it. It's not like a serious thing. I'm just...
Right. But have you liked the personalities of more girls with curly hair than straight hair?
I mean, I like your personality. I don't consider it attractive, but I love it. You're one of my favorite people.
I mean, thank God I'm not single. That would have really burned Danny.
Why? You're not attracted to me. Like,
no, I know, but still, I still want to be hot.
No, you are hot. It's just your personality. I don't think we're compatible. I think I would.
What are we? Like 5 minutes into the episode, Danny went from being like, well, your personality's not hot.
Well, no, I mean, I just don't think we're like, that's why we're friends. That's why we're like, we just.
Right. I'm going to go home to my boyfriend. I'm going to be like, Danny said my personality isn't hot. What do you think?
Well, you're not my type.
Danny says I'm not his type. I should be everyone's type.
Your boyfriend's a writer. He's like intellectual and smart. I'm like an asshole on a one wheel. Like, come on.
That's true. You're like a smart skateboarder.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't appreciate you calling it a skateboard.
Sorry. You called me not hot personality. No, so how to burn you with something, Danny. Burn, baby, burn.
But no, we have some stories. So I have burned Tori. I don't think that's the worst burn I've done though. This is brutal what I did to you.
Which one?
This was crooked. We went to Henderson.
Okay.
Tori and I did stand up together, and we drove 5 hours to Nevada, and we had a great show. I thought it was a great show. I thought you were great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. It was like a super fun trip.
Uh-huh.
You have no idea where this is going?
No.
And then we got these crazy expensive wings. Fuck this inflation. We ate them wings, and then I was like, let's go back to the hotel because we got a hot tub. It closes at 11. So you were like, okay, whatever. I might be down.
Right.
So
you were obsessed. You were obsessed about the hot tub.
I love my hot tub.
I didn't know to bring a bathing suit. I just knew we were doing stand-up, so I prepared for that. You were like, we're going to go hot tub. You were like a kid with like needing to have a hot tub at a hotel. We got to get a hot tub. We got to get a hot tub. And I was like, I didn't bring a bathing suit. And he's like, oh, well, how could you not bring a bathing suit? I'm like, I don't know. I thought about my jokes. I didn't think about a swim trunk.
Right. But you came. So I was in the hot tub. You weren't there.
Yeah.
And there was one other woman in the hot tub. It was 10:40 to close at 11. So I was like, I can't.
You sprinted. Yeah.
I can't wait this thing out. Right. I got to join her. So I join her and I'm like, hi, hot tub buddy. I said something like that because there's no one else there.
Yeah. let me describe her. She's an older woman with like bangs, like thin bangs, a ponytail. She doesn't mind the chlorine getting wet a little bit at the end. A bathing suit. She was like thin, but like, not tone, not like a,
right.
A normal Midwest woman.
Yes.
Gold earring she probably got from her 30th anniversary. A diamond. That was nice. Not huge, but again.
Wow. You picked up on all this shit.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that at all.
I was looking at all. So then you.
So then it was just me and her out there. This was before you came out. And then I was like, so what brings you, where were we? Henderson. What brings you to Henderson? Which like, there's nothing in Henderson. This is not a coherent question.
We're at a Holiday Inn.
We're at a Holiday Inn Express.
Right.
And she was like, well, I'm actually cleaning out my deceased brother's house. And I was like, oh no, not that. So I tried to redirect because I didn't want to go down that wormhole.
Right.
And I did. I got into like, yeah, we just did a show. It was kind of like a great night for me, really fun. And I'm here with my crazy kooky friend and we're having a great time. And I just love a hot tub. And then she was like, yeah, the thing about toxic family systems. I'm like, no. So then you showed up.
Yeah, I show up. I have my like pajama shorts. I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll go meet Danny at this hot tub. He's dying to go. So I put my feet in and Danny's floating. And this woman, I don't know if she was drinking, but something was going off because her head, like her face was half in the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, she's trying to drown herself. And then she like pops up.
She pops up.
And I don't remember what she said. Do you remember?
I just remember she got right back into it.
And she was like, yeah, I'm out here cleaning my brother's house. Seen a lot of photos of his daughter. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, no, they're not close because he's an alcoholic amongst other things. And I'm just like kicking my feet. And then also, you ever have friends where you just look at each other and you start laughing? So me and Danny, despite him not thinking my personality's hot, we have personalities, friendship strong friendship where we look at each other and we can start laughing hysterically. So I am trying not to look at Danny because I know I'm going to start crying laughing while this woman is talking about cleaning out her hoarder brother's alcoholic house. And she's like telling us, and then she started telling us about what she does for a living and how she hates
this
it.
Is so
wow,
sad.
you guys do comedy. You guys do comedy. Oh, you went after your dreams. I used to be a freelance writer, but started working at a pharmacy company. I write the things on the back of the prescriptions, and
no, it wasn't.
I hate it.
And we said, wait, what do you write exactly? And she literally wrote like constipation medication.
Yes, it was and my Jewishness was like, I got a few questions for you.
Yeah, you have any recommendations?
And then she said it was what was the company? It was like not Pepto. It was like the competitor of Pepto. You guys know it. I don't know what the name. But then I felt like I was trying to be nice when she said the name. I was like, oh, I've heard of it. You know?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So this is all happening. And I had talked to her for a little bit. And so I just could feel her vibing with Tori. And I just went on my phone.
You left me with her.
You
left me. And she's, again, floating. I'm telling you, she's like doing some weird floating bubbles. And she's telling me how she wants to be a writer. And she hasn't written in a while. But she's wanted to do poetry. And she used to do poetry. But now she works full time. And she's miserable. But she makes more money than ever. And my brother, I'll never see him again. And his daughter. And I didn't know what to do. And I'm just smiling. And you left me.
I did.
You were in the hot tub, but you emotionally left me there, floating with this woman.
It was wrong. I'm sorry. I did you dirty. I abandoned you.
You abandoned me.
And just that key shift of like the conversation ratio. Like when I got in the hot tub, it was like 50-50. Maybe I even dominated a little 60-40. Then you showed up. She starts winning. She's getting in 60-40. Now it's 7. Now it's 95-5. It's just, she's just talking at us.
She made me so sad about her not following her dreams. And now she writes for, I need to look it up. It's not
pills. Don't look it up.
Okay,
You always do this on podcasts. Is that your thing?
No, I just.
You look stuff up?
No, because I need to know the name and it's bothering me. It's not Pepto. It's the one with the purple top and the white bottle.
I don't know.
All right, people.
Purple pooper. So anyway, that was really funny. I'm sorry I abandoned you. I did you dirty. You know?
I don't even know how we left. I think because she was just one of those that kept talking talking.
She just died
and talking. No, she left. She left.
She left.
And she's like, all right, I'm going to. Yeah, it was just one of those. I was like, was she drunk? It was just so hard to tell.
Yeah, she might have been drunk.
Or depressed. It was hard.
So anyway, and we've been friends. I think we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we had done these shows. We talked about this in the bonus, but basically we did these like shitty stand-up shows in New York many years ago. So we were like acquainted.
Yeah.
And I always thought of you as like a silly Billy, you know.
An ugly.
No.
No, okay, go. Okay,
I never said ugly.
No, I know, I'm not ugly.
I never said ugly. Fuck you. Fuck off. Prettiest girl in special school.
Okay.
So I got this gig.
Yes.
And it was involving for children. And I always thought you were bubbly, silly Billy, gorgeous, silly Billy girl. So
his personality.
Well, personality is a little bit for kids. I'm not a kid now, am I? So I hit you up and I said, I think you could just kill this gig.
Yeah.
And it was great for us, right? Like, it was fun. Awesome. And we would basically, I forgot what it was, kind of like leadership for kids.
Yeah. First it started off as like it sounded like we were just going to make like TikToks for them in our room. And then it kind of became this whole thing where we were flying to New York like every other month.
Yep.
And they rented this really cool house in Brooklyn and they made all these different scenes there. And yeah, and the writing was like really funny, I thought, for kids. It wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
And it was really well like produced and they would be like 1.5 minute videos. And then these kids would have to do like challenges after the video. I don't know. I had the best time.
It was great. And we were getting a decent hotel. It was, I can't remember. It was in downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It was fine. But
never the Ritz, but
it wasn't the Ritz.
Yeah.
But it was fine. It was great. But there was a kicker. There was like a nightclub on the top floor and it could just get a little noisy at times. And the elevators were slow. It like just wasn't perfect. And guess who complained? Me.
You did.
So I was like, hey, like, I forgot. Oh, no, you know what it was? They didn't have a room key. I showed up and I was like, hey, like, I'm just trying to go to bed. It was like, 10 p.m. after flying in.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're working on it. And I was like, we're working on it, folks. Like, this is kind of hotel number one thing.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So I ended up waiting like 40 minutes in the lobby. It's just like, not that big of a deal. But when you just flew in, you're like,
you also, it feels good to be flown in for a little production. You're like, where the hell is my key?
Yeah, exactly. Where is my key?
Yeah.
So anyway, I complained. So next thing we know, we're in this new hotel. And this hotel, it looked fine. It was like almost right across the street. It was very nearby.
It was all these hotels were in, downtown Brooklyn, but it wasn't a dangerous neighborhood. It just was like, there was scaffolding. Like
That's
in 3
true.
years, it's going to be so nice. But it was, that one street was just like gross with all the hotels.
It wasn't super, you're right. It wasn't super walkable, actually. You had to walk a couple blocks to get to like a bodega or a store or anything. Yeah, it was kind of annoying. But anyway, we walk into the new hotel. And I go into my room and it was very small. It was much smaller. It was just like basically a bed. But the bed was fine. And I was like, okay, this is fine.
You got the key card.
I got the key card. There was no problem. But I'm just looking around and it's not like it's dirty, but everything just feels very used.
Oh,
very
I noticed.
used, old, worn down, scratches. Almost like, like somebody had like a series of dog fights there. Like, I'm like, damn, this like room has really like taken some hits.
Well, I'll never forget my room. It was the nightstand. It was just like coming out of the wall, but like tilted.
It was like not correctly installed.
Yeah, and it was old.
I remember I went to your room because we were just going to shoot the shit and hang out. We always like did gossip on these trips.
And I was like, I take a little pills when I fly because I get a little nervous. So I'm a little high on my Ativan. I'm like, and I'm wearing white pajamas and I'm eating in bed. And Danny's like, do you want to hang out? I was like, sure, come in. I was giving you like Grey Gardens vibes.
And I don't know how we put it together, but we realized, the rooms were very worn because they were definitely shelters for unhoused people.
How I know that was...
How do we know?
Well, because I got in and I was like, but again, so tired from flying and also drugged. I was like, this room is just not as nice as the other ones. The other ones were more just like IKEA corporate-y. This was like something had happened here. I was getting really uncomfortable. I was so tired that I was like, all right, I fell asleep. And in the morning at like 7 a.m., because we had to get up early for the shoot, this woman comes out of her room across the hall and she's like, where are you going? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, are you not staying here? And I was like, no. And she goes, oh, I think she was like, what shelter are you going to next? Or did they pick you up? And I go, oh, no, I'm not part of that.
I'm not part of that group. Whoa, I didn't know there were actually homeless people still there.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then I mean, it was, again, I was so like drugged and tired. I didn't have it in me to be my Jewish complainer self. But yeah, you complained so much about all the different hotels that then we ended up with the worst hotel.
Yeah, no, and that was the thing too, is that I couldn't complain. I was like, I did this to us. We were in a fine position. It got worse. So I didn't say nothing. We just dealt with it. It really wasn't that bad. It was just like a little bit like, why is it like this?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like we really truly became friends on that trip because something about being in a hotel that's a little bit unnerving, bonds you with someone.
Yeah, it was definitely a little creepy.
So anyway, I always say you're my sick friend.
Okay.
Well, you know that. You always joke about it.
Yeah, but I'm doing a whole thing now where I don't want to identify as being sick.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, because you're dyslexic and you have a disease.
Well, an autoimmune disease. Yeah, Lyme disease.
Sure. Oh, interesting. It's more offensive to just say you have a disease. Diabetes is a disease.
I guess, well, here's the thing. Recently, I had like a Lyme disease flare up and I went through a whole thing in my head of like, because I used to be more like, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? Like, other people don't have this and I'm 32 and I shouldn't feel this tired. But I kind of went through this whole like different idea of how I wanted to approach it. And I think even if I think everyone has something, if it's not a health issue. So I think people have issues.
Sure.
That's what I like to say. That's what my mom always told me.
I got issues, absolutely.
Right. So I just didn't want to be as like, woe is me. And I'm trying not to identify as.
Oh, okay.
Because I think sometimes if you identify as like, I'm a sick person, you get sicker. Because you you almost like.
I feel you on that. It's like a superstition.
Yeah. I mean, I can like joke about it, but I think when I went through like my flare up this summer, I just was like, I'm just going to change my mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
no, but we can still talk about it.
You're my gorgeous friend with a perfect personality and in perfect health. But it is, but you're neurotic. Can we say that? We can say this.
Of course, I'm neurotic.
Maybe a bit hypochondriacal.
Both, yes.
You know, there's often some sort of issue plaguing you.
Totally.
Actually, one of my favorite moments with you of all time is your laugh attack.
Oh, right.
Let's do this because I love the laugh attack stories.
All right.
So we were shooting this thing together, this project I had, and yeah, you were off your hormones or something, and you basically couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And we couldn't stop laughing because it was really funny, and like you were just laughing.
It happens around my period for girls, but I had changed birth control, so I think I was more hormonal than ever, and so I would laugh and cry at the same time. Has anyone else had this issue? I had it when I was a teenager when I first got my period. It was really hormonal. Then it stopped. And I guess then since I started doing birth control, we were filming something. Yeah. And I don't know what happened. I started crying and laughing same time. And I blacked out. I like couldn't remember. I thought I was going to faint from the laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
was funny. But then look, you were among friends. Like it was no big deal.
No, I wasn't embarrassed.
We made a video about it. It was really funny. But then you had another laugh attack on stage.
Yes.
So trigger warning, this isn't very politically correct, but I don't think there's nothing malicious. You're on stage.
So I go on stage. I'm doing like a run of shows before my special. 2 months before my special, I'm in San Francisco. I did like a run of great shows and I had that one shitty show. And it's 5 p.m. and it's like a little outside of San Francisco. There's like a stage that looks almost more like a dunking booth, like a car, like it was high, like a dunking booth that like carnivals.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like shaped like that, but it's a stage and it's a red curtain in the daytime. Okay. So it's just, and I looked at my boyfriend and I'm like, I know this is a shitty show. Let's just get this over with. The people here are very weird. I get up on stage and I start talking about going to a learning disabled school. And then I think I knew the show was not really going well. It was fucking daylight. And I'm talking about how I like went to a school for people with learning disabilities. And then all of a sudden a guy came in with a wheelchair. And I don't know why, but I just thought it was not the wheelchair was funny. Just, I'm not really sure, something triggered the laugh attack.
Sure.
So I start, and I'm trying to get into this joke. I'm like, oh, I wasn't the sluttiest girl at my school. She was cross-eyed, but I can't get the words out. And so the audience thinks I'm like, this is part of the bit. And then for a minute and a half, I'm like, guys, oh my God, no, okay, hold on, no. Okay.
Oh my God.
And my boyfriend was like, people were like staring at you. Like people thought you were having a seizure. And I could not control myself.
Oh my God.
I couldn't control the laughter and the crying. And I remember blacking out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Classic.
I haven't had one since then.
Thank God.
They're quite interesting.
I've never even heard of it.
They're like seizures.
I remember Googling it and finding, I don't know if I found anything.
Well, I don't know.
It's the disease of Tori Piskin.
Yeah.
Not a disease, sorry. Condition.
We're doing it, yeah.
But anyway, so and look, as you know, stand-up comedians, like every stand-up comedian is crazy in their own way.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much a rule. But come to find out, your boyfriend, who I met and is very, very wonderful, very sweet guy, writer, intellectual guy, had great conversations with him. He's got a bit of craziness up his sleeve, which I was shocked to learn about.
Yeah, so my boyfriend, I would say he's a very stable person. Yeah. He's creative, very funny. He has a fear of flying. He has always had a fear of flying. He read me a poem when he was 8 years old about how he hated flying.
A poem? That's an interesting form for flying complaining.
Well, he was a writer. He needed, and the poem was all about why are planes loud? They're scary. So he's clearly always had that fear in
Not
him.
the best poem I've ever heard.
I'm not saying it right, but it was really good. If I could call him now and get the thing. He had a bad flight 6 months ago.
And it was turbulence.
Horrible turbulence.
Horrible turbulence.
He said it was from LA to from Mexico back to LA. And he said the stewardess got on and said, we are experiencing extreme turbulence, sit down. And he said this, and that really scared him. He said it was 20 minutes, the plane dropping. I don't know if it was 20 minutes. I think when you're in turbulence, it feels longer.
It was 20 seconds. But no, was anybody injured? Was there any actual damage?
No, but he said his friends that don't have a fear of flying now do have a fear of flying. So
good, because he was with his friends.
Yeah, he was with his friends.
Okay.
So now he cannot get on planes. He's going to get back on planes. But so what he has done for the past 6 months since then, he has to go to New York sometimes for work. He takes the train. The choo-choo train.
And we live in LA.
So he takes
the train from LA to New York.
Yes. A 4-day journey.
Oh my God.
I pack him a bag.
You pack him a bag?
Yeah, food. I mean, while I make fun of him and I'm like, are you seriously?
But that's very sweet of you. I didn't know you were doting like that.
Yeah.
You pack him all this food.
Yeah, I pack him. Well, he needs food for the train.
I know, but I don't know. I guess I didn't think of you as a cook either. So
no, I'm not a cook.
You just put together sandwiches or something?
No, I bought him stuff at Whole Foods, like ramen, because I know he has hot water on the train.
I didn't know that. There's hot water on trains. Okay, you live and learn, I guess.
No, the thing I've learned so much about trains, more than I ever thought I would know. But that's probably how he feels about Lyme disease and dyslexia with me. You know, he's like, I didn't know about dyslexia. I'm a writer, very smart. I never had an health issue in my life. So you have to learn about trains with me.
Yeah.
I got to learn about your condition. So yeah, he takes the train, and what we joke about so much, you and me, is that what pisses me off is that he loves it.
Right, because we were talking about, I couldn't wait to watch his Insta story and be like, this is going to be so long and horrible. And it's like, just get it over with and do a 6-hour flight.
Yeah. But no, he won't get a sleeping cart. Those are like $2,000.
Yeah.
So he sleeps on a chair that doesn't fully recline.
For 4 nights or 3 nights?
3 nights.
Ugh.
But he's met people on the train. He says usually from LA to Chicago, it's more like runaways and Amish. Then when you go from Chicago to New York, then it becomes a little sketchy. And the train's not that nice.
Huh.
Yeah. And I really feel like I'm dating someone in a different century.
I like that for you.
Because I drop him off at the train station.
It sounds like, yeah.
All of a sudden I just go, bye, darling. My accent changes. I'm like, see you from after the war.
Yeah. Tell the conductor I said hi.
Yeah. So I think, listen, I know I don't like flying either.
Yeah.
I know.
No one likes it.
No, unless you're a stewardess and you're like, I love this turbulence. It's like the roller coasters. I'm like, all right, shut up.
Yeah.
You know, Nancy. But I think that, so he, and his job like allows him to do it because he makes his own hours.
Yeah.
So I hope he can get back on the plane soon. He said he met someone on a plane. Sorry, not on the plane. He met someone on a train. She won't fly. She thinks 5G is going to cause the plane to crash.
That's who's on the train. I knew we were going to get someone like that.
She also thinks the pigeons, the birds are going to fly into the jets.
My friend was on a plane. See, if that happens to you, I'm a little more understanding.
Right.
My friend was on a plane and it got hit by a birdie. And they got to turn around and land that puppy. It was not a big deal.
Right.
Scary, though. You lose an engine.
Right. I mean, that's what happened with the plane that landed in the Hudson River.
That was both engines. Yeah, that's very rare. But it happened.
So, listen. I don't know.
But no, you were saying he likes it. And I went into his Insta store and he was like writing poems and shit about motherfuckers on the train.
He loves the train. He said he'll go to me, oh, you know when you get into Colorado? I go, no, I've never been on a train. No,
Colorado.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like to wake up in Colorado and then you wake up in Chicago. No, I don't. He's like, oh, you know when you have a 4-hour layover between trains? No. One time I flew home, he took the train and I was like, 6 hours later, I'm like, I'm home. He's like, wow, it's so quick. so quick for you.
It's like he's time traveled. It's like he time traveled from the early days.
They're like, darling, it is so quick over there in the 2023. I hope to make it one day.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
Well,
I don't know.
I like you guys together a lot. You guys are
Thank you.
cuties. But so the timeline, are you like, do you bring, because like we want to go on trips together. I guess you don't want a 4-day lead time. How does that conversation play out?
So the last time we flew was last January. We went to Europe.
Oh, that's a big flight.
But he likes those planes because they're big. They're the big mama planes.
Interesting.
So that is not when he had the bad experience, by the way.
It was a small plane.
It was just like a normal plane.
Oh, okay.
But he had the bad experience, I think, 3 months later. So no, we haven't been. When he goes to New York, he takes the train. We've been to New York twice now when he's had this thing.
Oh,
he's had this condition.
Oh my God. So does he leave before you, or you just kind of wing it?
I'll leave like 2 days later. Be like, oh, well, still make it home before him.
I'll still meet him there.
And my parents love him so much. But whenever we go back to New York and we stay with my family, they give him such shit for taking
It's hilarious.
They're like, so, and my dad's like a real New York guy. He's like, so, how long are you gonna be doing this for?
and is it cheaper to take the train, or is it more expensive? I would think it's more expensive. It's so far.
I think $350.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
round
but you
trip.
have to get food. No, one way.
But yeah, you're right with food because it's 4 days.
Yeah.
So food, yeah, it's gonna be more expensive.
Yeah, and every time I pick him up from the train. I'm just like, get in the shower.
Oh God, yeah, is he not?
But he doesn't. No, he never smells. No, you can't shower in the train. Oh, if you have the sleeping cart, you can.
Oh, that's disgusting. I didn't know he did that. Oh, he's nasty.
No, I feel bad. No, but he never smells.
I guess he hasn't really been doing it. He's just been sitting in a train.
He loves it. He listens to music. He watches movies. He loves reading and looking up at the mountains or wherever the hell he is.
That's so long.
But I guess people have horror. Like, I have a fear of elevators. You know.
Yeah, but you'll get on an elevator, won't you?
I get on it when other people are on it, but I rarely go alone.
Because you're afraid of being trapped?
Yeah, I got trapped once.
Oh, I forgot about this story. Yeah, what was this?
When I was working as a video editor at Refinery 29.
Yeah.
They were like known for getting stuck. And I got stuck between the 20th floor and the 21st floor. And my floor was just me for an hour. And I didn't even like elevators to begin with. I was always like, oh, I hope I don't get stuck. See, that's a perfect example of manifesting the wrong thing. Putting it out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting all LA, but I really
So
believe
LA.
it. I mean, the whole year I worked there, I was like, I hope I don't get stuck in the elevator. And then I got stuck.
Did.
And the girl on the other side could hear me because I was screaming. And her name was Cecily. And I kept calling her Sicily. And I was like, when I get out, I'm going to give you a big kiss. I'm going to give you a big kiss, Cecily. No, and I was like, Sicily. And she was like, it's Cecily. I don't know. Maybe I'm bisexual during my time of death.
You were screaming.
Screaming.
That's so funny.
And not moving because in my head, I thought the elevator was being held up by like a string. So I'm not moving in a giant coat, dead of winter, my bag. And I'm just going, I'm going to give you a big kiss. I'm going to give you a big juicy kiss when I see you.
Oh my God.
So,
well, I'm happy you survived.
Yeah, me too.
I would really, you guys could become the ultimate like kind of like slow couple.
Yeah.
Like if this elevator thing haunts you, like you're taking the stairs, he's taking the trains, like it's going to be a while before they're here.
That's true.
It's just going to be a while. Okay. We're on the 100th floor in fucking Alaska. So it's going to be a while.
That's true. Oh my God, you're right.
Love it. Guys, please rate, review, subscribe, join us on Patreon. There's a great episode. I loved our bonus episode.
It was so
really
fun
funny.
when I went raw.
What's that? Yeah,
I went raw.
Maybe even too raw. We're going to talk a little bit about, we talked a lot about dyslexia on the bonus. We're going to talk about your other condition. And then we're just going to wrap up on a wedding one. So here we go. AITA joking about ticks and Lyme disease. Basically, this morning, my uncle sent a picture to the family group chat of a tick he'd taken off his leg. My uncle, being my uncle, told us he'd named the tick and had given it a new home in an empty pill bottle. I ran with it, telling him how cute his new pet was. As it turned out, he thinks he got the tick on a hike in the forest a couple of weeks ago and just hadn't noticed it. Then one of my aunts, not his wife, who lives in the middle of nowhere, chimed in with how dangerous this tick was, that my uncle could have contracted Lyme disease, Lyme condition. Now, we all know the dangers of Lyme condition. My wife's a nurse, my grandpa was a doctor, and I work in healthcare myself. My uncle will go to a doctor today to have the spot he took the tick out of looked at. At the same time, my uncle and I were still running with a joke of him being a pet dad to a tick. He asked how to feed it and whether he could keep the eggs.
Oh, God.
When my aunt suggested he see a doctor, I joked that she was right. He should see a vet about proper food that ticks can eat. I asked if we could teach them tricks and sell them as pets. Finally, when he told us he thinks he's had it for a couple weeks now and didn't notice it, I said, now you have to keep it. It's probably domesticated. It can't survive alone in the wild. Got a good laugh out of him and a few other family members, but my aunt seems upset and is upset that I'm not taking the possibility of Lyme disease seriously. And I told her that us making jokes about it instead of panicking doesn't mean we're not taking it seriously. My wife said I shouldn't have joked the way I did. AITA here.
Well, I think I liked what he said, this guy, that joking about it was better than panicking.
Right.
I think that's a good idea. For someone who had a bad reaction to getting Lyme disease, him being like laughing about the tick is someone being like, I don't know, like I had a gun. Like, what should I do with the gun? Does that analogy make sense? Because to me, like like when I got Lyme disease, it was such a change in my life, like a bad negative change.
So if you were in this like text thread, you would have been like, "Can we not?"
So pissed.
Oh wow! So you're touchy about this.
I mean, I guess I'm angry because with Lyme disease, like people can get bit like 4 times and they're fine, and they take like, a few weeks of antibiotics, but some people, I think it's your genetic makeup,
right,
react differently to when they get it. They can't ever like really get rid of it. And then it kind of like stirs up things and flares up and stuff. I think with him, if I guess I'd be more of like the aunt.
Yeah.
And been like, okay, I would be becoming more like anxious. I'd be like, all right, well, but like still like definitely go to the doctor. And then I would get annoyed about all these jokes. I'd be like, all right, like this is not funny. To me, you're holding a killer. You're joking about this little tick. To me, that's a killer.
But it's interesting though, because you're very lighthearted about your dyslexia.
Right.
But
just laughing.
But this does strike a more serious note.
Yes.
Interesting.
I think because, well, recently, do you know who Bella Hadid is?
Yeah, I heard of Bella Hadid.
So she but she talked about having Lyme disease and how she's had it for 15 years and she had to take a break from modeling. I guess like people just sometimes don't understand like the severity of how it can be.
Yeah, well, can you take us through it? I mean, you said you had a flare up recently. Like why should people take it seriously? I mean, can I be honest and say that I think the name sounds a little bit like a Sprite disease. It's not begging for gravity.
No, yeah, it's not like...
It's also very whimsical. It's like a tick bit.
It's like, ooh, Lyme. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I had Lyme disease and stand up, like my early years, this British woman in the audience heckled me and she's like, does that mean it goes good with tequila?
Oh, God.
And she said,
wow.
She goes, does that mean you go good with tequila? And I think, when I first got Lyme disease, when I was 21, like in college that summer before senior year, I was like, I remember I found out I had it because I like woke up one day and I had like blurry vision. I was sleeping like 12 hours a day and like panic attacks out of nowhere. And I never even though I was a neurotic person at that point, I had never had like full on panic attacks and the blurry vision. So I texted my mom this, and my mom, who's a Jewish woman who's hypochondriac a little bit, was like, oh my God, you're coming home. You might have a brain tumor. Your father's coming to pick you up in Boston. So my dad picked me up in Boston. We drove to New York. And when you're 21, unless something's wrong with you, you don't have a doctor. So I just went to my pediatrician. And so she tested me for Lyme and she was like, oh, it's Lyme disease. And I'll never forget, that summer I was also seeing a DJ named DJ Cougar Skin. So, so I was convinced that he had given me something like, I don't know, some crazy STD.
DJ Cougar Skin.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, DJ Cougar Skin. Yeah.
That does totally sound like a disease. That's an STD you would get from DJ Cougar
right?
Skin.
And so I'll never forget my friend when I told her I was back in school. It's like, I have Lyme disease. She goes, oh my God, my dad's had it 3 times. You'll be fine. And then I went on like the normal protocol of antibiotics, but I just never got like fully better. Long story short, a year later, it's still not away. Like it's getting like worse. Like the symptoms are like joint pain, like panic attacks. It feels like you're like hungover when you're not, like jet lagged. You just can't like get out of whatever's happening.
Like brain fog.
Yeah, brain fog. Yeah. And it slowly gets worse and worse and worse. So then I saw my doctor, Dr. Raxlin, I guess we'll tell him. And he was like, you should do IV antibiotics for 8 months. Like, we got to get this. You're not going to like get rid of it now from just oral antibiotics. So I did that for 8 months. And then it like got me to like 85, 90% better. And then when I have flare-ups, it means like I just need to go on a round of like oral antibiotics. Because stress, just like anything, can make things worse. Even though I don't find myself to be having a stressful life, nothing serious has happened to me. Like I don't.
There's been an issue at the train yard.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't find the boy.
Exactly. I mean, so I'm lucky because people like, first off, go years with being untreated. People go to doctors. They're like, oh, it's all in your head or you have MS. So I'm happy that I know what I have. So yeah, I think it's something that I can deal with it and it's fine. And like, okay, so sometimes I go on antibiotics. Sometimes I do these herbal protocols. But to me, like I'm not in a wheelchair. Like some people are like in wheelchairs and like no one knows what's wrong with them. Yeah. So I just feel like kind of like lucky. Even though I don't wish I wasn't.
No, I mean, but I think it's a tough thing. You're basically hungover and you didn't even have fun last night.
Exactly. I was
it's
like,
tough. And
then when you detox when you get better from Lyme, it's called Herxing. So you get, it's called Herxing.
Herxing?
Herxheimer. It's called the Herxheimer reaction. So you get worse before you get better. Just like if you were to detox from a drug, if you were an addict.
Oh, okay. The withdrawal is worse. Yeah.
And so I'll never forget when I first got sick and was doing the IV antibiotics, I was like, this is so unfair. Like, it's not like I had some like crazy summer where I was like, addicted to cocaine with DJ Cougar Skin. Like, this is so unfair.
I can't believe DJ Cougar Skin is his real name.
I swear that was his DJ name.
It's so weird.
But anyway, I just want to say, better now. I think with Lyme, always get checked. Doesn't mean like you're going to have that. But I think people also, the environment causes people, like there's more Lyme disease than people think because, and it's so underlining. Like I have so many girlfriends that are like, oh yeah, like they think I have mold poisoning or like, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, but I also tested me for Lyme disease and I have that. So Lyme disease can be like a lot of can be the main problem you're dealing with. But you might just have like one symptom, and that's why you're always misdiagnosed.
Well, thanks for.
Sorry, that was a big PSA.
No, I loved it. I mean, that's why you're here to let people know. We've had people on who have like lupus and stuff like that, and I think like chronic conditions and just like it's good for people to know. Like,
yeah.
Because and that is also why like sometimes like when someone's randomly being an asshole in a story or whatever, it's like you don't know. Like, you don't know the day they've had. Like, sometimes, you want to, like, light them on fire or whatever. Yeah. But, like, there's other times where it's, like, honestly, it's just, like, somebody cuts you. And you're like, maybe they got freaking Lyme disease. Like, maybe it's just not their day. Like, that's why it's always best to assume the best intentions and stuff. So, I appreciate you sharing that.
And I just want to say that this family group chat, sounds kind of fun to be in.
I mean, I think like as a comedian,
funny jokes.
That's where I was gonna go next. Like, you have a sensitivity about this. Obviously, it's very personal to you, but like, I thought this tick bit was pretty damn great.
Honestly,
like he really elevated it.
He was funny,
and like they don't have Lyme disease yet. Like, I think it's okay to joke about this. I don't really see a problem here.
I think it's okay.
I think the risk is if you're going to make jokes about diseases that are serious or terrible, you risk making that joke in front of someone who does have it. That's fucked up. You're trivializing it.
Yeah.
But like, that's not what was happening here.
No, they were making more fun of the tick, not the disease.
Yeah.
They weren't like, oh, well, you're too tired because you have Lyme disease.
Yeah,
They were talking more about the tick that they wanted to keep and name like a pet.
Yeah.
Now, to me, I'm like, don't fucking look at that thing. Don't touch that thing.
Ugh.
That thing is the devil. Get rid of that thing. What do you...
Yeah, no, I don't want... I'm terrified of ticks. Terrified. I hate them.
I never even saw the tick that bit me.
That's so frustrating.
I know, right?
I want you to have had the satisfaction of gushing him at least.
I never saw it.
Damn.
Maybe we can do like... Although one time I was doing some weird character once in New York where I pretended to be a tick and I got some like cockroach costume because that was the closest you can get to a tick.
Yeah.
They don't tell, it's not a popular thing to joke about. Cockroaches apparently are.
Yeah.
So I was like pretending to be some tick that I was like, hey, we got to bite Tori. She's in so we talking. Maybe make her a little tired or something.
Yeah, we got her. AITA for joking about ticks and Lyme disease. I think we agree. You wouldn't want to be targeted with these jokes, but we were recognizing there's good. I think we're saying
these are good jokes.
I think we're saying no assholes here.
No assholes here.
I think the women being reactive to this, the aunt, and I think the wife. I get it.
Yeah, they're being safe, but I don't think. Safe. I think these are a really funny joke. I might steal some of them.
Humor is a powerful way to cope.
Exactly.
You cope with humor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's worked out well for you. I mean, I was like writing jokes with you because we just hate dyslexia the whole time. Like, I'll be like, let's just flip this to the dyslexic lens, Wait,
so when I was like doing the whatever IV antibiotics, I was like making videos about Lyme disease and this was like YouTube 2013, okay?
Yeah.
So I was posting them all on YouTube. They were gaining popularity in the Lyme disease community. I wanted more views, so I posted the link on Tinder. This is before Tinder had a swiping limit. So I remember I'm in bed all day, I'm not working, and I'm living at home. So I had like 8 hours to swipe. So like by the end of 8 months, I think I had like 10,000 matches on Tinder. And I was just hoping that they would, again, click my link. So one day I'm in the car with my mom. It's like the dead of winter. She goes into a store, leaves me in the car, and this guy starts coming up to me. And he's like, I can hear him from outside. And he's like, oh my God, you're the girl. He's French. He's like, you're the girl from Tinder. And I was like, what? He goes, the one with the Lyme disease. And I'm like, oh my God. And I like bury my head and he's like, come on, when does this ever happen? Like, this is fate. And I'm thinking, this is not fate. I swiped on 10,000 people.
This is inevitable.
Yeah. And he walks away. And then recently I was going through like really old Facebook messages. In 2016, which was 3 years later, he wrote to me.
Wow.
He was like, do you remember me? I think you were scared of me in the car, but I know you. You were posting all those funny videos about Lyme disease.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I was trying to get those views.
You're a hustler. I respect that. I respect that hustle. That is a roundabout way of doing it. Now, we've talked a little bit about your sister on our trip. She's kind of like normie version of you, right? She's not like a comedian or anything.
She's not a comedian. I talk about in my special how she like talks like this, like one of these very like just
kind of like
you ask her anything like how are you, Rachel?
Rachel, how are you?
Fine.
What have you been up to?
Not much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean this is kind of a quiet first date. You're not very talkative?
No. Sometimes I could be talking.
What?
But no.
What do you say?
No. I'm having a lot of
Okay,
fun.
You're actually shrinking.
Yeah.
You're becoming very tiny.
No, thank you. Well, I am a ballerina, so I do.
Oh,
like
you're a
that
ballerina.
compliment.
Oh, that's art.
Oh, what?
You're a ballerina.
Yeah.
You're a dancer.
Yeah, at the New York City Ballet.
Oh, well, the New York City, you kind of trail off. You're disappearing.
New York City Ballet.
You faded out. You're gone now. I can't see you. So she's very like She's
Natalie Portman in Black Swan. If you've seen,
I can't remember really. I like
just
that movie though.
I mean, so she used to be a ballerina, but she still has that like childlike voice. Obviously, I'm heightening it for
of course
comedy. But
it's more childlike than your voice, you would say? That's not really fair to say. I'm just saying that because you're small.
My voice right now?
I don't think your voice is childlike. It's like squeaky.
No. It's just like very quiet and she doesn't give you like a lot. Like she gives you like, oh, I'm good. I'm fine. Just tired.
And she's your older sister.
Yes. 3 years older.
Oh, 3 years older. So there was some competitiveness. Do you think that comedy is a reaction at all to her? Or?
Yeah. I think when you grow up with a sibling that's like, you know, like a prodigy or like successful, or even if not at the height and level of a ballerina in New York, if they're the soccer star of, you know, your local high school and you're like struggling in school, like there builds up a lot of jealousy. And I think that's kind of why I went into comedy and why I feel the need to be funny is because everyone was giving so much attention to my sister when I was younger. Because they literally would like they'd be like, oh my God, like, are you the ballerina? And I'd be like,
oh shit, that hurts.
Yeah. And I would be like, no. And they'd be like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm 10. I don't know.
I'm 10.
I'm learning to read.
I'm learning to read. You're a little old to be.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think, but we're close now.
Oh, you are close?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's great.
No, I really like Tori.
That's great. I didn't know you liked Tori.
Sweet.
Do you like her stand-up special?
No, I do. I just, you know, she did say some stuff about me that, you know, I don't think is necessarily like fully correct. But
well, I mean, it's comedy, you know, it's not all going to be correct. It's not a testimony.
No, but she didn't like ask me for permission.
Well,
she crossed the boundary.
It's her experience. Is that a boundary cross for you?
Yeah.
Does your boyfriend go on planes?
My husband?
Your husband, excuse me.
Who's an eye doctor?
Are you bragging that he's an eye doctor?
No, I just didn't know if you knew the facts.
Just kind of felt like you just shoved it in there. I wouldn't really brag about that if I were you. Anyway, I thought we could do this little sister situation. Here we go. AITA for telling my sister she's required to wear a bra to my wedding. I love my sister, and truthfully, when I say say required, I'm obviously not going to kick her out if she doesn't wear one. But she really, really needs to. She's well endowed and hates bras. When she's wearing certain items like baggy t-shirts, it's not so noticeable. But in the dress that she chose, I just gave her a color. She's wearing it in my wedding. It will be very obvious she's not wearing a bra. One wrong move, she could be flashing everyone. Not only does it look bad, it's also borderline inappropriate. I told her, let's go shopping. She could try a bunch of different ones. I even found a boutique in our area because stores carry very few options in her size, and I said I'd pay for whatever she picked out. Now she's saying I'm playing into sexist stereotypes. I'm saying that there's a good chance if you dance too hard in this dress, your titty is going to pop out. I don't think that's sexist, AITA.
No, I don't think this sister is being sexist. I think she's being reasonable. I think that the sister needs to put on a bra. I would be the AI. What do you call it?
The OP? Nice. There we go. See, dyslexia can strike at any moment.
The AI. The AP person.
OP. So, original poster. So, but Tori, that's fair. But let me come back at you. I think policing how people look, not very cool.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about it on the pod. And, you know, she has big breasts. She's aware of it. She knows.
Right.
Isn't there something a little condescending? Like that, isn't this kind of like if I was like, hey, Tori, you know, I think you could really find a way to contain that crazy big red hair of yours. You'd be like, you think I haven't thought of it, you dumb motherfucker?
Right. I guess it's more just, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about my own experience and like how I grew up. And I feel like in my family, no one's afraid to say anything. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like if I was the one with the big breasts, I would be, you know, I've never experienced that. But if I was the one with the big breasts, I would like be like, well, it is my sister's wedding day. But that's how I was raised, to be like, oh, like, you know, a wedding day is important, I guess.
Because so is the idea here too that when boobs are just kind of, you know, roaming the pastures, not in a bra, they're more, you could tell their shape better. Like, why is she saying it's inappropriate? Is there you see the nipple, or what is she saying?
Okay, it's inappropriate because you're like dancing and I don't know what dress, it doesn't sound like this, they have a lot of support. Do you
Which
see
means they droop?
They'll droop.
So there's a droop issue. Okay, that's the issue.
Yeah, I think it's mostly that. Or depending, like maybe the girl's wearing like a big bustier. Yeah, I'm referencing like, yeah, big bustier and the tits are just like popping out. And the sister's like, I think that's a little inappropriate for a wedding. Like a corset maybe she's wearing. I don't know. There's different dresses, but I do think a wedding is, I don't know, like I wouldn't show my butt at a wedding.
Sure.
Like, you know, there's some dresses where it like goes really low so it sees like just the crack.
Yeah.
I would never wear that at a wedding because I think that's inappropriate. Just like if you have large breasts and the sister is asking you, she's not saying cover them up and wear a sweater and a coat. She's just saying, I want you to wear a bra, but wear whatever you want. Just let's have them more contained. I don't know what the other sister's wearing. Maybe the other sister like wears these tops where like the breast comes out underneath.
Yeah. The underboob. So she got some explanation. The dress has a low cut made with 2 panels that crisscross. It is too tight, so the panels her boobs in half.
Okay, no, this is a bathing suit. Now we're talking.
If that makes sense, with half exposed and half not. And when she walks in the dress, her boobs shift toward the exposed center. So she's constantly pulling the material back over and tucking them in.
So it looks like this kind of?
That sounds, yeah, she's putting an X over her chest.
Okay, this.
Also, it's not about my sister's cleavage, she writes. It's not about her cleavage looking better than mine. She's my sister. I want her to look great. I'm going to be wearing a 30-pound bright white dress. I'm not worried about people not seeing me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. She writes, if a man were to come to my wedding with his nipples exposed, he would be kicked out. I don't know. I'm hesitant on this one because anytime I do any kind of looks policing, I get in trouble. And
do you think she's being a little bridezilla?
I guess I'm just like, I don't know. There seems condescending to me to tell someone with big boobs how they need to handle the big boobs. I'm like, I think they know. I don't know if she doesn't think she needs a bra. Maybe she just knows more than you. Like,
but it does sound like just even if you had big breasts or not, this sounds like an inappropriate outfit to wear to a wedding. Maybe to like the party or a nightclub.
Yeah.
But she's saying it's a crossover dress. And then like the boobs are like in the crossover part. To me, I would just never wear that type of dress. None of my friends would wear that to a wedding. That doesn't seem appropriate to a wedding, no matter how big the breast size are. Okay,
yesterday writes NTA, not the asshole. If she doesn't want to wear a bra at an official event, she needs to choose a dress that allows it. If she chose the dress that is tight, fit, thin, see-through, or with noticeable cleavage, she needs to wear a bra. No one wants their sis to flash her tits during their wedding. That seems reasonable to me. I mean, I can't really defend her. It doesn't seem so unreasonable to ask for a bra. Karma Chameleon, could you suggest tape as an option? The double-sided one that holds your clothing to your skin. It may be an easier trade-off. That's, I think, more where I'm landing. Like, maybe the bra is too specific and that's what's making this condescending. Instead, she's just like, hey, like, I love you, but I'm just like worried your boobs are going to pop out at my wedding.
Yeah, it would be like if someone to me was like, hey, I want your hair up at the wedding. But what she's really saying is like, hey, I want all of my bridesmaids to look in unison. Do you mind putting your hair up?
Would you put your hair up?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't know. Weddings, I think it's the other person's day. So why not?
So you don't have a problem adjusting your giant hair?
No. I have no problem.
Have you done it?
No one's asked me. They've been like, hey, like, can you put your hair up so like
they're fine with it.
People don't hit on you.
You do get hit on whenever I post like an Insta story of like us doing something. People are always like, "Who's the redhead?"
Oh,
so I'm surprised you've never gotten any jealousy.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm surprised that no one's ever policed you in any way, just because like I've been hit with it. I guess.
I mean, I've had people police me in terms of my personality.
What'd they say?
Well, my boyfriend was just like, you know, some things, boundaries. I would overstep the boundaries. My sister, same thing, boundary issue.
Okay.
I have a boundary issue. I don't cross it that much. I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember setting boundaries with you, really. I just think.
But I guess for them, it's their private stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Well, because you and I are very like public and
Yeah.
we're going to tell all our secrets. So other people are like, yeah, please don't broadcast my whole life.
Yeah.
Please. That'd be great if you didn't do that.
Like in my special, the set I built was like all these picture frames from my childhood, or they like sometimes go with like jokes. I have like a James, because I talk about a story about James Gandolfini coming to my high school. So I have a photo of him, and I used a photo of my sister when she was in the ballet, and I didn't ask her permission. Again, I didn't think I needed to, and she was very upset that I used a photo in my stand-up.
Pissed.
Yeah, she's pissed.
Boundary crossing Tori. We got one here. Mean Impressed 2103 writes, YTA, you're going on a wild assumption that your sister doesn't want to flash everybody at your wedding. She knows her body better than you. If she doesn't think it's a problem, then it probably isn't. There's so much pearl clutching about breasts. There's nothing inappropriate about the natural shape and movement of a breast.
This person sounds like they just want to see the breast.
It does sound a little bit.
The writing of this person's like, why do you stop their natural way of moving? The way they bounce, the way they wink. Let them out. This person sounds...
Let them free.
This person sounds like they might have really had some deep thoughts about this.
Another YTA. She's a grown woman. She can make her own choices about what she wears. She can see how she looks. She's had this body her whole adult life. She knows what she can do and can't do in different garments. Even if the local boutique carries her size, the bras there might not suit the dress. Let her live.
No.
I think we're going to disagree on this one, Tor.
It's okay.
I just feel like she can handle it. Those are her sweater puppies. I feel like it's okay to be like, I'm feeling really worried that something might happen, with your boobs coming out of your dress. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. But to dictate and be like,
dictate,
you need to wear a bra, you need to put on tape, that's getting douchey.
Yeah, I think if this sister would have approached it in a different way, I think the other sister would have been more open-minded to being like, okay, I see where she's coming from. Because no one likes to be told exactly, you can't wear that, like that's not right.
So I think we might agree then. AITA for telling my sister she's required to wear a bra at my wedding. You're the asshole.
I guess she is. Yeah, she's the asshole.
Tori, this has been so much fun. I always love hanging out with you. We always have a blast together. Guys, listen to Tori's special. Watch it, on YouTube.
Yes.
Prettiest girl at the special school.
Mm-hmm.
And I take back what I said. I was just roasting you. I actually think we are compatible.
Oh, okay.
I was just bullshitting.
Can you fly?
I fly, girl.
So, I mean, I don't know. My boyfriend might have to move over. We could have a...
Imagine that's your dating profile after this.
Yeah. In case...
Really looking for a guy who's comfortable flying.
Yeah,
People
they're like,
would be so
okay.
confused. But yeah, check it out on YouTube. Check out Tori's Instagram. You post really funny videos, and you have your podcast as well.
Yeah.
With your mom, who's hilarious. I love her.
Yeah, she's funny.
Lulu. Classic.
Yes, we talk about pop culture.
Got it from my mama.
Yeah, lots of pop culture. It's fun because, like, I'll say something about whatever's happening, like some celebrity, and she knows gossip or like things from like 30 years ago. So it's fun to like, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that happened. She's like, what do you mean? This part, like, my mom knows like a lot about pop culture. So it's fun.
I love it. And let's get your boyfriend to definitely do a pod about just being on the train. Because
he would love
obsessed.
to do it.
I'm obsessed.
You should definitely get him on. He would definitely has a whole hour while he's got.
I want to do a pod with both of you guys if you'd be down. Like, I want to do a snow trip again and just pod.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, because I mean, he writes interesting stuff. It's like political and intellectual. He's a smart guy.
He's very smart.
Anyway, Tori, you've been amazing. Always a blast. Thanks so much. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.